They keep on kissing that goodbye gone, yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Val Haller of Valslist, and we're here for another episode of our new artist series called There's a Band in My Basement. For many of you who don't know, I've had over 100 bands sleep in my basement at my house in Chicago, and we decided that this is worthy of a story, because who gets to have bands sleep in their basement except for your uncle or your dad's band or something? So we have really cool bands who come and stay with us. They're on tour coming through Chicago, and we're doing episodes on all of the bands that we've had here. Especially now in quarantine, the band can't be in my basement right now, so we're going to talk about it and tell you about it instead of showing you this time. But hopefully pretty soon they'll be back with us in our real basement. So today we are having one of my favorite contemporary country duos from Nashville called Sons of Daughters, and I cannot wait for you to hear these guys. We were going to showcase them at our festival this year. We're going to tell you all about this. So first of all, welcome to Jimmy Chow and Chrystal Leigh. Hi, you guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Val. Hey, Val. A quick thing, it's Jimmy Thow.
What did I say?
Chow.
Oh my God, and we practiced this before because it's...
That's okay.
No, don't.
It's T-H.
You know what?
T-H-O-W.
No, it's, you know what? Since I was in preschool on roll call, this has gone sideways. We prepare, we do everything, and it's still, so don't even worry about it.
I love that we started this way because honestly, this is a rogue, casual interview. Nice. I am not a professional, but I have interviewed thousands of bands, and we literally talked about it because I'm like a stickler for punctuation and spelling. So I'm like, Jimmy, is it thou?
Yes.
Tho, tow, toe. We went through this.
You know what? Your intention behind this thing was so pure. You're like, you did do that.
Thank you.
And you know what? All is forgiven. We're great.
So I think, Chrystal, I contacted you, and I'm like, you don't know me. Here's my brand. Who knows if you've ever heard of me, but we do these house concerts in Chicago, and I think you said, we can drive there. And I'm like, let's do this. And 'cause I heard one note of your music, and I was so sold on you. I could not wait to get you to Chicago.
Thanks.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean,
you.
I have a few great memories about that day. But one thing I do remember is that you had an amazing movie collection in the basement where we slept. And I remember me and Jim stayed up all night watching
do you know what it is? I know what we watched.
Wait, they're kid movies, right?
Because
this
one's like a kid/adult movie. But Chrystal, I want to see if you can remember what one of the things we watched.
I feel like it was Anchorman.
Okay, I don't remember that, but Austin Powers, the one with Beyonce.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I had no idea you guys were rooting through our children's movies down there.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
I was down there. I'm like, they're not watching, right? Okay, go. No,
Well, the other thing that we love when bands stay in our basement is a lot of times we hear you guys jamming down there. And usually I try to not bother you because I really try to be like a hotel and not the innkeeper who never lets you, have a moment's peace. But whenever I hear you guys jamming down there, I'm like, can we come down? We promise we'll be quiet, but can we listen to you, play down there and practice? So it's really fun. Our house concert series is the real thing. It's 7 years old. So, I mean, we've been doing this, and we have an audience. Like, we put out an invite, and in an hour, 100 people sign up. So it's the real deal, and we pack people in the house. But everybody knows I have 2 rules. Fill the tip jar, because these are free concerts, and be quiet when the music's going, because I'm like a huge obsessed person with, shut up and listen.
Exactly.
And they do, because I always say, if you hear a quiet show, you'll never want a noisy one again.
I found a little trick that works is when you say you're playing a guitar and you're singing and playing at a normal volume. Well, if you start playing and singing really lightly and really quietly, it forces people to listen to you. Because they have to shut up to hear you, right? So there's this I found that really worked. When people weren't paying attention, if you just go really quiet, and then you look at the sound guy, and the sound guy thinks he's done something wrong, right? But I think there's something in us that doesn't want to miss out. So if you hear someone whispering, you almost want to what are they saying? What's going on? What's happening, right?
We had you booked for our Winnetka Music Festival, which is year 4. St. Paul and the Broken Bones were headlining, and Larkin Poe. We had a killer lineup before we had to cancel it for COVID. And I I could not wait to showcase you guys. I mean, I wanted you up there. You know, we have 15, 16,000 people who attend now. And I wanted everybody to know, like, I'm bringing you these guys. And because you guys are sort of on this trajectory right now.
Like, we were headed to our biggest year. I mean, you know, we got nominated for a Rising Star last year. We had a top 13, I think we had number 13 on Billboard. We individually were writing hit songs for other artists that were charting on the record, on like the charts. And it was like things were moving in the right direction. And then, you know, when you start to get all the emails instead of saying, oh, we got another show, it's like, oh, another show canceled. And it kind of did, it was a bummer at first, but I think that's where kind of like we started to shift gears a little bit, and like we said, okay, well, let's just say hypothetically this continues, it's just gonna be like this. How are we going to evolve? You know, like what are we going to do differently? So we started to look at, okay, well, let's just pivot. Let's do things differently, and let's not just wait for things to work out. Let's figure it out. So we've started doing things like, we know we've got a rig set up now where we'll do like recordings. Like, I'll do a bunch of recordings here, and I'll work with Chrystal on Zoom, and then we'll like do her vocals in Vancouver, and like we're doing them live through Zoom and through interacting Pro Tools, and you know, so there's like all these things that we would have never thought. But I mean, we're about to put out some new music to radio and all the, you know, Spotify and all that stuff, and we recorded it from a million miles away.
That could be a great segue into to kind of show listeners and viewers what we were doing during quarantine, because we were doing side-by-side performances through this amazing app we found to like kind of keep music out there. So while we were quarantining, like when things were pretty much at the peak, we were doing these live acoustic videos with each other. So we have one that we can show everyone for one of our original songs called Drinking Songs.
I pour champagne like a bandit on a heart. I'm tipping 2 for 1 to cover up these scars. Light it up just like the neon in this bar. Drinking Tupac on the jukebox, turn it up and leave it on. 'Cause when love's gone wrong, I still got these drinking songs. It won't quit me, baby, since you don't miss me. I'm up, I poured champagne like a bandit on a heart. I'm tipping 2 for 1 to cover up these scars. Light it up just like the neon in this bar. Drinking Tupac on the jukebox, turn it up and leave it on. 'Cause when love's gone wrong, I still got these drinking songs.
Tell us about your move and your decision to go to Nashville, and how do Canadians start to like country music? Like, how did this all evolve?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, we moved to Nashville, I think we've been in a band for 7 or 8 years.
We moved to Nashville in 1984.
15 years ago. It's like, it's literally
In your mind?
I am not a man of detail. I'm like general vicinity, big picture. So like I've been saying, like I remember like 3 years ago, I'm like, yeah, I think we've been in Nashville for about 5 years. Chrystal's like 2 years. I'm like, cool. And then so I've been saying 5 years for the last 5 years, but I really think it's somewhere between 5 and 6 years. No,
it's 5 years. Yeah, it's 5 years in January. Yeah. You know, we went down for a month just to kind of see what it was like, and then we didn't want to leave. We extended that trip, you know, to 2 months. We ended up, and as soon as we got back, we just found ourselves like, man, we got to get back to Nashville. Like, we were so productive. We wrote so many songs. We met so many people. Like, we feel like, you know, we felt pulled to go there. And then we ended up getting signed with our management team, and he had flown to Vancouver to kind of talk to us about, the future. And he said, guys, would you consider moving to Nashville to kind of help expedite, your development in the process? And we were like, yes, 100%.
I think in country music it is blown up. I mean, you go like in Europe, it's just everyone's eating up country music. In Canada, the same thing. We have the CCMAs up there that support us, and we got like all these radio stations. I just find that people that didn't used to listen to country are now listening to it. The Canadian government supports the arts, and they give you grants. So, for example, if you're doing things, if you have you're in a band and you're starting to get attention, they'll help you fund your records and help you fund touring.
Oh my God!
It's a cool. So I think because that infrastructure is there, it kind of helps people make decisions on to get into the arts and get into bands at an early age, because they're going, wow, like I can do this.
I was so shocked when we were kind of breaking the line of like solely, independent kind of, a band to getting like these bigger shows. I was thinking, there was a bit of a misconception, because I was like, oh, we've got these big shows. We're opening for Luke Bryan, Kelsey Ballerini. Like these are really gonna make us some money. But then the bigger the shows are, the bigger your show gets, right? So you need
correct
players. You need to pay and you have to pay for their hotels and their flights and their, transportation and their fees and rehearsal and all this. And oh my God, we're making less money.
We work with guys like Toby, our drummer, who are like divas. They need like king size beds and everything. It's just outrageous.
Damn diva.
Wow.
But what the industry will argue back to you, or the Luke Bryants will say is, but you are getting immediate exposure to our whole audience, and so they hope that that's a thing. And if the world works right, it will be a thing, because then all of these fans who come are like, holy crap, who's this opener? Yeah. I mean, I've been to shows where the opener's better than the headliner. So hopefully the industry and the karma flows the way it should.
I think it's exciting, anything that's at its beginning stages. Like when you see something that's like, it's potential, right? So if you see the potential in it, you see a band in your living room and you go, wow, like that could be big. That's an exciting thing. Like I would be excited about that, to watch somebody. Then I'd want to see where they go, and you kind of feel like you're involved in their journey, and you are involved in their journey.
Oh, totally.
Right? That's look, we're kind of circling back to some of the beginning stuff that we did with you now, and so like. There's that thread, right? Just throughout the things, we come back, we meet people, we lose touch, we come back. That's how it is.
I started working on a bit of a side solo project for like streaming or placements with other pop artists. So this is a song I just wrote, and it's called Big Hair, Big Heart. And I'm going to actually play it through a speaker and sing along to the music for you. I try not to react, but your voice sets me back, and I want you bad. I can't pretend I need you more now than I needed you then. Big head, big heart, and a leather jacket. It took one look and all of me, you had it. They say there's always one that takes a lifetime to recover from, and that's you.
So I'm going to play a song called Faith on a Friday Night. This is a new song. I wrote this one on Skype, actually, with Jamie Floyd, who is a Grammy-nominated. She wrote the song called The Blade. She wrote Kesha's new single. She's just an amazing songstress, artist, and songwriter. But she was lucky enough to introduce me to some of her friends, and one of the guys that we wrote with his name's Rabel, and he's also an amazing guy. He writes with Pink and Beyonce, and he's just got a really great pop sensibility. He's in LA, and he's also an artist himself, and definitely check him out. But,
he's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a song we wrote. It's called Faith on a Friday Night. Racking up a tab in the back of this downtown bar tonight. Of a night neighbor tipping the waiter, yeah, I'm buying, that's right. I was lost, but now I'm found. Seeing the light, the neon light, yeah. Hand on the Bible, one thing's clear. I believe in the power of ice cold beer. Seen by the weekend, spirits up high. I still got faith in a Friday night. That's right. Yeah. Sing little prayers to get me through the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, oh my. Thursday comes like a hallelujah. When a little bit closer to a good time. I was lost, but now I'm there. And almost feel the buzz, I swear. Hand on the Bible, one thing's clear. I believe in the power of ice cold beer. Saved by the weekend, spirits up high. I still got faith in a Friday night. I got my hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night. My hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night. Yeah, baby. Hand on the Bible, one thing's clear. I believe in the power of ice cold beer. See by the weekend, spirits up high. I still got faith in a Friday night. I got my hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night. My hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night. My hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night. My hands up, put 'em up high. Still got faith in a Friday night.
Thank you so much. What a great song. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
People are good. When is this one released?
We're actually working on this right now. We've been building the production. It's kind of like 80% done right now. So we don't want to say till the ball drops and we know which song we're going to be putting out. But this is one of the top contenders for sure.
We love you, and everybody, you can find Sons of Daughters all over Spotify and all over YouTube. Go spend an hour with a glass of wine or beer and go check these guys out. It's a real treat.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us, Val. This was awesome.
Okay. Good night. See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of There's a Band in My Basement, this new artist series where we're talking to bands who have slept at my house and hearing a little bit about the behind-the-scenes personalities of these bands we love. You can find them always on the Valslist YouTube channel. Just look for Valslist. There's a Band in My Basement. You'll see all of the episodes. You can also find us on valslist.com. And on Spotify, if you type Valslist and click on our profile on Spotify, you'll be able to see all of our playlists. We love bringing you the best new bands. Stay tuned.